Shida-Kartli Region. The unique Shida-Kartli region is located in the heart of Georgia, where historical epics and cultural traditions are intertwined. This is a place where you can fully experience the spirit of ancient Georgia, see unique landscapes and get acquainted with hospitable residents. We invite you to take a fascinating journey through Shida-Kartli to discover new horizons of Georgian history, culture and cuisine. Geographical location and climate. Shida-Kartli is the central region of Georgia, bounded on the north by the main Caucasus Range and on the south by the Lycian Range. The region is rich in diverse landscapes. Here you can see mountain peaks covered with eternal snow, fertile valleys and picturesque rivers. Shida-Kartli has a temperate continental climate, with cold winters and warm summers. In winter, the temperature can drop to -5 degrees, and in summer the air warms up to +25. Note that in mountainous areas the climate is more severe, with long and cold winters. These climatic conditions have a significant impact on local culture and life. In particular, due to its mild climate and fertile soils, Shida-Kartli is famous for its vineyards and fruit orchards. In addition, the climate of the region contributes to the development of agriculture, which is reflected in the local cuisine, rich in fresh and natural products. It is also worth noting that due to its geographical location, Shida-Kartli is an important transport hub connecting various regions of Georgia. This makes it accessible to travelers who want to explore the country's cultural and historical heritage. Historical overview. The history of Shida-Kartli goes back to ancient times. Archaeological finds dating back to the Bronze Age have been discovered here, which attests to the antiquity and rich history of this region. In ancient times, Shida-Kartli was an important center of culture and trade. Crafts and arts flourished here, and there was an active trade with neighboring regions. In the Middle Ages, the region became the center of the Georgian state, where the residences of Georgian kings and queens were located, which underlines the importance of Shida-Kartli in the history of Georgia. During the Middle Ages, numerous churches and monasteries were built here, many of which have survived to this day and are important attractions. It is difficult to overestimate the importance of the region in the history of Georgia. Shida-Kartli played a key role in shaping the Georgian nation, its cultural and historical heritage. Important historical decisions were made here. Famous personalities who left their mark on the history of Georgia lived and worked here. In modern times, Shida-Kartli continues to play an important role in the life of Georgia. This is a place where traditions are respected and history is valued, where unique knowledge and skills are preserved and passed down from generation to generation. Visiting Shida-Kartli allows you to see and feel the real, untouched Georgia, learn its history and culture, and get acquainted with its hospitable inhabitants. Gori City, Administrative and Cultural Center. Gori is the administrative and cultural center of Shida-Kartli. The city is rich in historical monuments and architecture, which makes it attractive for lovers of history and culture. Here you can see numerous buildings built in various historical eras, from the Middle Ages to the present. However, the significance of Gori is largely connected with the name of Joseph Stalin, who was born and raised here. Gori is home to the Stalin Museum, which attracts many tourists. The museum is a complex that includes the house where Stalin was born, the personal car in which he traveled, and a museum hall with exhibits dedicated to his life and activities. But Gori is not only a museum of Stalin. This is a city with a rich history and culture, where every corner breathes history. Here you can see ancient churches and monasteries, visit local museums and galleries, walk through the narrow streets of the old town, enjoy the views of mountains and valleys, taste local cuisine and wine, meet the hospitable inhabitants and learn about their customs and traditions. Gori is a place that leaves an unforgettable impression and makes you want to come back here again and again. Attractions in Shida-Kartli. Shida-Kartli is rich in historical and cultural monuments that reflect the unique history and culture of this region. Among them, a special place is occupied by the cave city of Uplistiki. This is one of the oldest settlements in Georgia, whose history begins in the 1st millennium BC. Uplistiki impresses with its unique architecture and ancient atmosphere, where you can see ancient temples, dwellings and unique rock reliefs. Apart from Uplistiki, there are many churches and monasteries in Shida-Kartli, each of which has its own history and significance. Among them are the Samtavro Monastery, where, according to legend, Saints Nino and Marjan prayed, as well as the Svetitshaveli Church in Mountasketa, which is one of the most important Christian shrines in Georgia. The region is also home to many archaeological sites, including ancient fortresses and towns such as Gori and Kaspi. These places attract tourists with their unique atmosphere. They allow you to see and feel the spirit of ancient Georgia. Learn about its history and culture. All these attractions make Shida-Kartli one of the most interesting and unique regions of Georgia, which is definitely worth visiting. Shida-Kartli cuisine. The cuisine of Shida-Kartli is a real gastronomic celebration, reflecting the rich culture and traditions of this region. It is distinguished by a special refinement and variety, each dish in which is a work of art that combines taste, aroma and appearance. The influence of climate and geography on local cooking is reflected in the use of local products. Fine vegetables, fruits and grains are grown here, which become the basis for many dishes. Thanks to its favorable climate and fertile soils, Shida-Kartli is famous for its vineyards and fruit orchards, whose products are widely used in local cuisine. Traditional dishes of the region include a variety of meat and vegetable dishes prepared according to unique recipes passed down from generation to generation. A special place in the menu is occupied by local cheeses made using ancient technologies, and bread baked in traditional Georgian ovens ton. In addition, there are many traditional culinary techniques and cooking methods in the region that make the cuisine of Shida-Kartli truly unique and unique. This is a slow stewing, and cooking on an open fire, and the use of special pots for cooking. Thus, the cuisine of Shida-Kartli is not just a collection of dishes. It is a whole culture that reflects the history, traditions and way of life of this unique region. Winemaking in Shida-Kartli. Winemaking in Shida-Kartli has an ancient tradition that goes back to the Bronze Age. Since then, the region's vineyards have become the cradle of many grape varieties that are now used to produce great wines. Today, the region produces many varieties of wine, including local grape varieties such as Saperavi, Arkatsiteli and Emtisvein. These wines have a special taste and aroma, which depends on the characteristics of the local climate and soil. Shida-Kartli wine is often described as rich, full-bodied and fruity, with notes of black currant, cherry and spices. Shida-Kartli also follows traditional winemaking practices. Wine here is often aged in cave-ivory clay amphorae, buried in the ground. This method gives the wine a unique character and allows you to fully reveal the taste and aroma of grapes. Winemaking in Shida-Kartli is not just about wine production. It is a whole culture that is passed down from generation to generation. This is an important part of the life of local residents, their history and traditions. A visit to a winery in Shida-Kartli is an opportunity to learn about ancient winemaking traditions, taste unique wines and see how they are created. Real estate in Shida-Kartli. Shida-Kartli, like many other regions of Georgia, attracts the attention of not only tourists, but also investors. Real estate in this region is a unique combination of historical heritage and modern trends. Here you can find both old houses with traditional Georgian architecture, and new buildings made in a modern style. It is important to note that many old houses in Shida-Kartli have been restored and modernized, while preserving their historical value. Real estate in Shida-Kartli offers a wide range of investment opportunities. Here you can buy a house for permanent residence or purchase real estate for the purpose of subsequent rental. Due to the active development of tourism, rental housing in this region can be a very profitable business. It is also worth noting that the construction of new residential complexes is actively developing in Shida-Kartli, which makes the real estate market in this region even more attractive for investors. In any case, when buying a property in Shida-Kartli, whether it is an old house or a modern apartment, you get not just a piece of land or a building, but a part of the unique culture and history of this magnificent region. Investment in Shida-Kartli. Shida-Kartli, like the entire region of Georgia, is actively developing and offers many prospects for investment. The region's economy is based on agriculture, wine production, tourism, and small businesses, each of which represents a potential opportunity for investors. Agriculture and winemaking in Shida-Kartli are areas where tradition and innovation combine to create unique, high-quality products. Investment in these sectors can generate significant returns, given the growing demand for organic and quality products both locally and internationally. Tourism is also a promising area for investment in Shida-Kartli. The region attracts tourists with its historical sites, cultural heritage, magnificent nature and hospitality of local residents. Investments in tourism infrastructure development, such as hotels, restaurants, travel agencies, and transportation services, can pay good dividends. Finally, small businesses in Shida-Kartli also represent an attractive investment opportunity. Local entrepreneurs engage in a variety of activities, from crafts and trade to services and manufacturing. Investment in this sector can help drive economic growth and job creation in the region. Overall, Shida-Kartli is a place with great potential for investment. A stable economic situation, support from the local government and a favorable investment climate make this region attractive for investors of various sizes. Investing in real estate in Shida-Kartli. Pros and cons. Positive. Potential for value growth. Shida-Kartli is a region with great potential for economic growth and tourism development, which can lead to an increase in the cost of real estate. Tourist demand. Due to its historical attractions, cultural heritage and natural beauty, the region attracts many tourists, which creates a demand for rental housing. Availability. Compared to other regions of Georgia, real estate prices in Shida-Kartli are relatively low, which makes it affordable for investment. Minuses. Lack of infrastructure. Despite the fact that the region is developing, some parts of it may lack modern infrastructure, such as roads, communications and services. Seasonality. Tourist demand in Shida-Kartli is seasonal, which can lead to irregular rental income. Sales market. If you need to sell a property quickly, it may take time to find a buyer, especially for properties in remote or less popular locations. When investing in real estate in Shida-Kartli, it is important to conduct a thorough analysis and take into account all possible risks. Despite some difficulties, choosing the right property in this region can bring good dividends in the long run. Conclusion. Shida-Kartli is not just a region of Georgia. This is a place where centuries-old traditions are combined with modern life, where every stone breathes history, and every resident is ready to share their hospitality. This is a place that deserves to be visited and feel its unique atmosphere.